You are.
I have a strong belief.
You know
in
what?
fact,
You people
in
were
fact,
beaten. I don't know what we're doing in 1982 talking to you.
Well, that's your problem, Tom. But let me tell you one thing.
This is Bill Wilkinson. Served as Imperial Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan from 1975 to 1984, he is also an American Christian identity pastor.
I'm not beaten. The Klan is not beaten, and the white race is not beaten.
During the late 70s and 80s, American TV was going through a boom of confrontational talk shows and televised debates.
Tom here. I'm trying to put that on me. The spirit laid that over on my.
Bill Wilkinson saw this as a big opportunity.
The white race is superior to all others.
Oh, we believe that, yes.
The government was intended to be of the white man, by the white
The Ku Klux Klan had once cast a dark shadow over the United States. In the 1920s, it became the largest white supremacist and terrorist organization in American history. Membership grew into the millions, and its influence spread into the government, police departments, and even Congress. After the Civil Rights era, the Ku Klux Klan numbers had declined. So in the 70s, 80s, Wilkinson tried to rebrand the Klan. Less terror group and more respectable political organization. On TV, he talked about white rights and Christian values, like he was running for office. Wilkinson tried to present the Klan as a legitimate political organization and frame it as a populist movement, rather than pure racial terrorism. It was basically a PR makeover for racism.
My humble duty tonight to introduce you to the Grand and Imperial Wizard of the Invisible Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, Mr. Bill Wilkinson. Oh, Imperial Wizard, can you tell me, and us, 100 years after your predecessors set the South aflame with the cross burnings, lynchings, and other events, you should be bothering this country still?
To begin with, I believe a slight rebuttal is in order for your opening statements or the opening statements that was made about the Klan. We are not anti-Catholic. We are not anti-Semitic. We believe in the white race. We believe that at this point in time, that white Americans are being treated as second-class citizens, that the federal laws, the civil rights laws, have created a dual system of justice in this country, a set of federal laws that protects the interest of minorities and local and state laws.
But Grand and Imperial Wizard, if I may.
Of white people.
This was Wilkinson's strategy. Recast the white majority as an oppressed minority. It's a sleight of hand, turning racial hierarchy upside down, making the powerful seem persecuted. But Wilkinson was not unique. This was the same language segregationists had used for decades. We are not hateful. We are victims.
If I may interrupt, if I might be so bold as to interrupt the Imperial Wizard, it says on a sheet that you people hand out to the young and the youths of our high schools, it says, if you want to join the Klan, quote, I swear that I am of white, non-Jewish heritage. Are you fed up with special privileges given to blacks? That's a quotation from your own literature.
Absolutely. We are a Christian organization. We also don't allow Buddhists or Muslims or atheists in the organization.
This was Wilkinson's fortress, religion. He wrapped his racism in biblical scripture, portraying segregation as divine will. It wasn't hate, he claimed. It was obedience to God. For decades, pastors across the South preached the same gospel, that racial separation was sacred order. Wilkinson merely inherited the sermon.
You take in the Pat Buchanans. When I was a kid in Dubuque, I was the Ku Klux Klan, which was then fairly powerful in Indiana, about 1922 or 3, somewhere in there. You were anti-Catholic.
The Klan has had different views from time to time on lesser issues. Mm-hmm. The one issue we've never changed on is that of segregation. We believe that God has commanded us to separate ourselves from other races.
Let me ask you about something, and you did correct it, let me say, before the show started, something I was unaware of. But there are a number of Klan organizations, and I gather it is not yours, who march in tandem, arm in arm with members of the American Nazi Party. Now, the Nazis were responsible for the murder, not simply of Jews in Germany, but American pilots, American soldiers. They're guilty of all manner of horrid atrocities. They have on their, on their record some 250,000 American dead. Now, why would any patriotic American, or one who calls himself a patriotic American, be anywhere near the swastika, the insignia of Hitler's Germany?
Well, as you conceded before the show, I did clear up that point. The Klan, the Invisible Empire, which I head, detests Nazis as much as we do communists. But I'd like to make one thing clear, that there's too much hype today about the Germans and the Nazis. Let's not forget that the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor and they led to death marches in Bataan. I don't believe that we should condemn all of the Germans for something that happened in Germany 40 years ago.
Again, a deflection. Wilkinson reframes Nazi collaboration not as endorsement, but as historical relativism. His goal? To blur the moral clarity of the interviewer's question.
All right, let's talk about blacks.
All right.
Why?
Wait a minute, I want to go. My brother came back from the airborne in Vietnam, and he told me, that of the bodies that he took out as a medical officer, he said, 50% of those guys were black kids.
Mm-hmm.
Served in the United States and Vietnam. This was it was a crack frontline unit. And these were American blacks who died in higher numbers for their country in Southeast Asia in that war than did white Americans, as a matter of fact, in the Vietnam War. Now, how can you be against a race which contains people who are out there fighting for their country just as much as white, Christian, Protestant Americans are?
That's something else that needs to be cleared up, Pat. We're not against the black race. We believe in free enterprise for this country. We believe that everyone should have the same rights.
The rhetorical maneuver is consistent. Acknowledge sacrifice, then pivot to grievance. Wilkinson does not openly attack black Americans here. He cloaks hostility in the language of fairness, all while preserving the Klan's bedrock. Segregation.
Well, Mr. Wizard, it says right here, wait a minute, Mr. Wizard. Let me interrupt you for a minute, Mr. Wizard. It says right here, you believe in the final solution, which is black repatriation to Africa. Now,
Abraham Lincoln, but now look, I'm not going to be cut off in the middle.
No, but I'm not going to be shut off either. You're running around on a bed sheet. I don't have the bed sheet. But I just want to tell you, I want to ask you this question. Can you imagine this country repatriating all the black Americans that Pat just spoke about to Africa?
No, I answered your question. Now, I want to finish what I was saying. We feel that affirmative action is discriminating against white people. And there is no question about it. Two wrongs don't make a right. Because black people were hurt and discriminated against in the past does not justify the discrimination against white people now. And we're asking for an end to that.
I'm against reverse discrimination. I'm against racial quotas. I'm against affirmative action as it's practiced. But you said, when I introduced you, I didn't say that your organization was. I said, historically, to most Americans, you're anti-Catholic and anti-Semitic and racist. In other words, anti-black. You said, we're not anti-Catholic.
Right.
We're not anti-Semitic. You didn't deny the racist thing.
Well, it depends on your definition of racist. I'm a segregationist, okay? I believe that God has commanded me not to mix with other races. For that reason, I want to have schools where I can send my children to a white school. I want to be able to go to my white neighborhoods, to white businesses,
all right,
for those things. So if that terms me as a racist, then I'm a racist.
With this admission, the mask slips. Wilkinson draws the line between Christian conviction and white supremacy so thin it collapses.
What do you think our founding fathers meant when they said we, the people of the United States?
Well, I won't get into that debate.
But you're sitting here in your bed sheet telling us all that the only thing you're for, you're against.
You're really upset about my
I think, if I were you, I would be so ashamed of myself. I mean, I can't imagine walking around in that silly costume telling people to be against blacks and against Jews.
Have you ever seen the Pope and the Cardinals in their costumes?
Yeah, but they're religious and they're for something, and you're just nothing but against something. You're against the thing. You're against the thing that makes this country a unity and that makes this country great. And I think you're a disgrace.
You know nothing about what I believe and what I
just heard what you believe.
I believe in God. Is that wrong?
Do you deny that you said this? This is the literature you're handing out to schools, to school children in America? I just quoted this from your own pamphlet. Are you fed up, it says here, with blacks following you home, trying to beat you up.
That's
Do you
right.
deny that you said that?
No, I don't. And let me tell you, that happens more times in America than what you can shake a stick at. Blacks.
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 Try to follow you home and beat you up.
We've had more racial
You're
problems
a damn
and muggings.
disgrace to the country.
No.
This is Wilkinson at his most audacious, equating the Ku Klux Klan's regalia, an outfit synonymous with lynching, terror, and murder, with the vestments of the Pope.
Fire, the intensity of our beliefs, the ideals that we believe in.
Behold the fiery cross, still brilliant.
A false
All the troubled
equivalence
history failed to
designed
quench
to
its hallowed
legitimize the Klan as a religious order, not a terrorist fraternity. The interview ends as it began, loud and unrepentant.
We have people that believe that violence is going to be the only way. In fact, I believe that ultimately that's going to be the only way.
After stepping down in 1984, Bill Wilkinson vanished from the spotlight. He later resurfaced in Belize, where he still lives today. History remembers him not as a patriot, but as the fading voice of a movement in decline. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hope you have a wonderful day.